everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another what I ate in a day video. Today I'm going to show you guys everything I'm eating on a vegan lifestyle, as well as show you some supplements that are recommended on a vegan lifestyle. Once again, today's video is sponsored by Thrive Market. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about them later on in the video, but for now I want to eat some breakfast. It's like 6:50 in the morning, and normally I actually eat breakfast a little bit later, but today I'm feeling pretty hungry. I've already had my coffee, by the way. I woke up at 5 in the morning, so I already had my coffee. Black coffee, which is what I have every morning. Let's make some breakfast. Once again, I'm craving something savory for breakfast. I'm such a savory person. So I'm gonna have a savory breakfast and then maybe something sweet like as a snack, but for now I want something savory. All right, let's see what we have. I have a lot of leftover stuff as usual. Ooh, I might need to finish this tofu. Let's see. Oh god, I have so much tofu. It's like all tofu. Tofu. I found some tomato sauce in my fridge that I made the other day, and I think I need to eat this because I don't know, it's been a few days. I also found some gnocchi in my freezer, so I might have some like gnocchi for breakfast. I know I'm weird. I also have some tofu that was sitting in my fridge. This is actually frozen and thawed out tofu. Basically, it's medium firm tofu that I froze completely, and then I put it in the fridge to thaw out for like a day, and then I squeeze the water out. As you can see, there's still some water in here. But if you freeze your tofu, it actually allows you to squeeze out more water once you thaw it out, and then that allows the tofu to absorb more flavor, and also it changes the texture to more of like a meaty texture. So it becomes kind of more like meat, as you can see. Like, look at that. That's pretty like meaty looking. So I think I'm gonna throw some of this into the gnocchi as well. So that's one trick if you want more of a meaty consistency for your tofu. For seasoning, I'm gonna add some basil. Should I add this now? Oh my god. Garlic powder. Thyme. Alright, it's starting to brown a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. All right, now I'm just gonna add about half of this sauce. Turn this down. You know what, I might need to add all the sauce. The sauce is just made from pure tomatoes. I just like ground it up, added some garlic, basil, and some other stuff. But yeah, it's all real tomato. Time to cook up our gnocchi. I'm just gonna make a little bit, not too much. So when the gnocchi starts to float to the top, that's when you know that it's done. It only takes about 2 minutes, but because it was frozen, it took about 3 minutes for this one. Throw this in here. I really didn't make a lot, did I? I'm also gonna throw in some spinach. Mix that in. I think we're ready to eat. And there is meal number 1. Am I weird? I'm actually gonna add some nutritional yeast. There we go. So that is nutritional yeast. That's gonna give my food a really nice, kind of almost a little bit cheesy flavor. If you are a vegan, you must have this. A lot of nutritional yeast is also fortified with B12. Yeah, this one is fortified with B12 as well, but I'll talk more about B12 and all the other stuff after I eat, because I gotta eat. Food.
12 seconds later.
Update, this is so good, so I just grabbed the rest and I'm still hungry, so I'm gonna finish the entire thing that I just made. I'm eating it all, guys. I'm eating it all. Whew, guys, that was so good. I literally finished that whole thing. Even though actually it looks like a lot of food, but it's actually not that much if you think about it, because the sauce is like just made of pure tomatoes, and I didn't use too much gnocchi, and the tofu is tofu. That wasn't like too much tofu, so it was a good amount of food. I am a firm believer in eating enough. Okay, so that was my breakfast. Comment down below, would you eat that for breakfast? Or are you a pancakes and syrup kind of person for breakfast? Let me know, do you guys prefer savory or sweet? Let me know. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this video is very kindly sponsored by Thrive Market. If you guys didn't know, Thrive Market is an online marketplace. They sell tons of natural and organic items at discounted prices. They have so many different vegan options to choose from, and for an annual membership fee of $60, you get access to their 25 to 50% off retail value items. They've got so many different kinds of vegan grocery staples. They also have a lot of beauty products and skincare products, and they also have supplements and vitamins. That's the focus of today's video, is I'm going to talk about mainly the supplements that they have and supplements that you might want to consider on a plant-based diet. So I'm going to take some supplements right now. But first, if you guys are interested in trying out Thrive Market and you've never tried them out before, today you get 25% off plus a free 1-month trial. 25% off their already discounted items. So link is down below, my friends, if you guys want to check them out. And throughout this video, I'm gonna show you guys different products from Thrive Market. So thank you so much to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. Do I look better in this angle? Hi. This like straight up facial like is not, it's not flattering. All right, I brought you guys closer so that you have a different angle, because apparently that's more interesting when you change angles and change camera directions. Is that true? We're gonna talk about supplements, guys. So the first and most obvious thing that you should all be taking is B12. Did you know that 40% of Americans are deficient in B12? 40%! Even though I have food sometimes, like for example, the nutritional yeast is fortified with vitamin B12, but just to make sure, I take a supplement. It's not hard, just keep it where you can see it. That's tip number 1, is keep your vitamins and supplements where you see them, okay? If you work at an office, for example, I used to keep my vitamins like right at my desk so that when I'm there, I just take it. This one is the Thrive Market brand of B12. This one has 100 vegan lozenges. B12. I'll leave some sources down below about vegan supplementation and things like that. I'm not the one to explain to you the, you know, the intricacies of vitamins and minerals and things like that. All of that being said, my next supplement I will be taking is something I actually have never taken before, but it might be apparently the second most important thing that a vegetarian or a vegan might want to consider taking. Although many people might be getting it perfectly fine from their diet if they are eating enough like flax seeds and other like omega-3 rich foods. But just for like an insurance and just to make sure that you are meeting your nutritional requirements, it might be a good idea to consider taking a DHA supplement. This is apparently an algae-based DHA supplement. This is vegetarian DHA, omega-3 for brain, vision, and heart health. So there's no fish oil in this, and it is algae-based. This is like a big talk in the vegan community at this moment. Apparently, this is good for brain function. Yes. I'm gonna take one gel. One soft gel. Looks like that. Oh, it smells like seaweed. The thing is, I probably get plenty of omega-3s because I eat so much seaweed, and I also eat, actually, you know, I should probably eat more flax seeds. But yeah, I eat so much seaweed that I probably get enough, to be fair. But just in case. Next is something that isn't exclusive to vegans, but it's something that I think many of us should probably be taking because we don't live in the sun. Unfortunately, we spend a lot of time inside. So it is vitamin D3. So this one is vegan vitamin D3. This one is by My Kind Organics, Garden of Life, certified organic whole food, all that good stuff. A vegan D3 organic spray. It's a liquid vitamin. I remember a long time ago when I got my blood tested, the doctor was literally like, I'm not even gonna test your vitamin D levels because they're always going to be deficient. My doctor was literally just like, just take a vitamin D3. Everyone's deficient in vitamin D3 or something like that. So yeah, unless you're spending a lot of time outside, you're probably going to be deficient in vitamin D. So I'm gonna take this. How many sprays? Take 1 spray daily, okay. Tastes like vanilla. So those are like the main vitamins I am taking. I'll show you guys some more like dietary supplements that, you know, are supposed to be healthy and stuff, but these are the main ones that you probably want to focus on. But of course, get your levels checked. Maybe go get a blood test, make sure everything is good. Even if you're not vegan or vegetarian, it's probably a good idea to go get a blood test and just make sure that you are meeting your nutritional requirements, because people pretend like vegans and vegetarians are the only ones that have deficiencies, and that's just so untrue. Like I said, 40% of Americans are deficient in vitamin B12. 40%. I guarantee you 40% of Americans are definitely not vegan or vegetarians. All of these can be found on Thrive Market. Yay! Hey guys, it is now 10 o'clock. As you can see, it is bright. For my snack, I want to make an acai bowl. Yeah, I've been wanting to make acai bowls ever since I got back from Brazil. So I'm using the Thrive Market organic acai powder, and actually acai is also high in omega-3s and antioxidants. I'm also going to be using some ground flax seeds, which is another really great thing to add into your diet, something you probably should be having more regularly, maybe every day, just a little bit. And again, ground flax seeds are also high in omega-3s as well. So I'm gonna make an acai bowl. You can also make this into like a smoothie. Smoothies are just like a really great way to get in a lot of nutrients. So into a food processor, add in, I don't know, like approximately 1 frozen banana. I'm also gonna add in some frozen berry mix. Splash of cashew milk. Let's add in a bit of acai powder. Ooh, I'm excited for this. Add in a pretty big spoonful. I'm not really gonna measure. I'm also gonna add in my flax seeds. Really good healthy fats, guys. These are the ground flax seeds. And I'm also going to add in some protein powder. This one is actually a chocolate protein powder. I want to add in protein powder because this is going to help me feel fuller, obviously. And as I've mentioned before, I try to grow some muscle. So I'm just going to add a scoop of the chocolate protein powder. So it's going to be a chocolate acai bowl. I'm so excited. Add that in there. And this, you guys, is totally unnecessary, but I'm just trying this out, okay? This is a plant-based collagen booster. I've been wanting to try out taking collagen just for the kind of skin benefits, just to like, I don't know, make me look good. Let's be real, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I just wanna look good, and this is supposed to be really good for anti-aging and your skincare. So that's the main reason why I'm taking this. Again, it is not necessary. Most collagen is actually not vegan friendly, but this one I found on Thrive Market, it is vegan friendly. So that is why I'm taking it. So I'm just gonna add just a teaspoon into my smoothie bowl. Hopefully I can't taste it. And I'm just going to blend this up. All right, I found some coconut flakes so I can add some toppings. Ooh. Also gonna add just a few nuts in here just for the crunch factor. And there's my snack, guys. Just a really simple acai bowl. Oh, by the way, I can't taste the collagen. It tastes really nice and like a subtle chocolate flavor, and I can taste the acai. Really, really good snack. Also, you don't have to add protein powder in this if you don't want to, but protein powder really helps make me feel fuller. So this is gonna last much longer with the protein powder in my stomach than without. Protein powder is definitely something I take on a regular basis. Not because I'm protein deficient, but because it really helps my satiation levels. I also want to, you know, obviously grow more muscle and stuff like that when I go to the gym. So protein powder helps with that as well. Yeah, it's a really good supplement to have, in my opinion, but you don't need it. All right, you guys, so it isn't lunchtime quite yet. I'm not like super hungry yet. It's like 11:30, but I am going to start preparing something that I want to show you guys. I want to cook some beans, okay? Now, I have been really bad at cooking my own beans. I just don't do it as often anymore. I don't know why. I cooked my own beans all the time when I was living in London and stuff like that, but I think like now I've just gotten more lazy, and maybe it's also because I cook so many different things, so I don't want to bother like batch cooking a bunch of beans. But I want to get back into doing it more often because it's so much more cost effective to cook your own beans, and I just feel like it's healthier to cook your own beans rather than eating canned beans, although canned beans are great. But yeah, I just want to show you guys how I cook my beans. I don't know if this is the best way, but this is just how I do it, okay? So these are black-eyed beans, as you can see. So basically what I do is I just take some dry beans and I put them into like a big pot, and I put like probably about 3 times the amount of water. I just put a ton of water because the beans like to expand. So these are already expanded quite a bit from when they were dry. And then I let it soak overnight. And then now I'm just going to drain this, rinse it out, and then fill it up with some, I don't know why I'm just playing with this, and then fill it with clean water, and then I'm going to boil it so that we can finish cooking it. I'm gonna actually transfer this into a bigger pot. So I like to fill it up with quite a bit of water. Once again, it's gonna expand more when you cook it. So I just fill it up a lot. I didn't measure any of this. I'm just going to cook it. There's no need to measure it really. So what I do is I turn this up and I let it come to a very strong boil. Once it comes to a strong boil, I'm going to turn the heat down to a simmer and let it simmer until it is completely cooked. It is a long process. It's probably gonna take at least an hour to cook the beans, but it's gonna be worth it because then we're gonna have tons of beans that we can portion out and eat later on. So yeah, if you guys are wanting to save some money on food in general, legumes are such a great way to get your calories in, get your nutrients in, get your protein. Such a great source of nutrients. So I highly recommend making your own beans from dry. It isn't too difficult. You just have to do it in a batch. Once you cook your beans, you can just portion them, and whenever you want to have a meal with beans, you can just take them out of the freezer or the fridge and just add it into whatever meals for some healthy protein. I would recommend cooking dry beans and portioning them out, but also having a few canned beans on hand in case you don't have cooked beans. I forgot how crazy the beans get, so now it's time to turn this to a simmer. I'm not gonna cover it up, I'm just gonna cook it like this. Let's first put a timer. I'm gonna put a timer to 45 minutes and check up on it in 45 minutes. And a fair warning, your house will probably smell like beans, just a little bit. Okay, so maybe you don't wanna do this if you're gonna have guests over. And now I'm gonna prepare kind of the rest of my lunch so that it's ready to go when I'm hungry. I'm first going to make some wild rice, which I will cook in my rice cooker. Do you see my rice cooker there? It's prepared. I'm gonna cook my wild rice in the rice cooker. I'm also going to make a very delicious tahini dressing, which I'm sure if you guys watch my videos, you've seen me make multiple times, but this is one of my favorite dressings ever, especially for like a Buddha bowl kind of dish. This dressing is so good. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make it again because, you know, I might as well. And I'm also gonna add this dressing into my ebook as well because I just feel like it's just so good to have this recipe. Trust me, you have to try this. It's so good and it's super healthy. So if you don't have a rice cooker, obviously you can cook this according to the instructions on the packaging. I love wild rice. Should I mix it with brown? All right, so I have some wild rice and I'm actually gonna mix in 2 cups of brown rice as well so that it's like a mixture. So I'm adding in short grain brown rice. And if you guys didn't know, short grain rice is like the stickier kind of rice. So it's like the rice that Korean people and Japanese people eat, whereas long grain rice is not sticky at all. So this is a mixture of wild rice and brown short grain rice. So I'm gonna cook this in the rice cooker. Yay! All right guys, so first ingredient, obviously you're going to need some tahini. I actually ran out of tahini for like a hot minute there and I freaked out. So thank you Thrive Market for making sure I am full of tahini. So tahini, if you guys didn't know, is like made from sesame. I'm telling you guys, even if you think you don't like tahini, you have to try this. So I put 2 tablespoons of tahini. You know what, actually, let's make it 4 tablespoons. We're gonna double the recipe. And trust me, you will wanna make a big batch of this because it's so good. By the way, if you wanna sign up for updates for my upcoming vegan recipes ebook, I'll leave a link down below where you can sign up for my mailing list. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of raw apple cider vinegar, and this is also from Thrive Market. This is the Bragg's raw apple cider vinegar. So we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of this. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You can also use agave nectar if you want. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Yes guys, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Let's do 3 or 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. 3, you know what, I'm gonna do 4. 4 tablespoons nutritional yeast. You can never do too much nutritional yeast. And then I'm gonna add something that I normally don't add, which is lemon juice. Oh, I just spilled it everywhere. And then we'll mix it. I forgot to add soy sauce. So I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, or you can use an equivalent. So this one is liquid aminos. Woo, I also got this at Thrive Market. It's an alternative. It's a soy sauce alternative. It's gluten-free, I believe. So if you're gluten-free, you can use liquid aminos. So 1, 2. Let's mix this up. And honestly, guys, I've made this dressing so many times because it's that good. And you can store it in the fridge, and it does thicken up in the fridge usually. I just add in a little bit of water in that case, and then I just thin it out again. And then you can use it as a salad dressing, or my favorite way to use it is, yeah, on top of rice as like a Buddha bowl dressing. So I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of water. And again, it's probably going to thicken up more in the fridge, so I can add more water at that time. But for now, I think this will be good. There we go. Ooh, look at that, guys. There is the delicious tahini dressing. It's super healthy. Guys, it's so good. So I'm just gonna be using a little bit. So I'm just transferring the rest into this container so I can keep it in the fridge. Yay. So dressing is made, guys, and I'm just waiting for the rice to finish cooking and also the beans. But in the meantime, I thought I would bake a cake. I never bake, really. I don't bake a lot. It's not my forte, if you will. But I don't really want to sit in front of the computer today. And I wanted to try out making a matcha cake, and it's also my dad's birthday. So we're actually going out for dinner tonight. So I thought, oh, maybe it's nice to have like a dessert for, you know, when we come back home. So yeah, and I've made this cake before, I think. Something similar to this, and it was very good. And I think my dad really liked it. So I'm gonna make a matcha cake with like a lemony frosting. This shall be fun. This is my way of not sitting in front of the computer, so. Alright, so this is the cake that I made. I haven't tried it yet, obviously. It's not the prettiest cake, but I mean, I've never made a very pretty cake. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how it tastes. I think I need to still perfect the recipe. The frosting is really good, I'll tell you that much. I have respect for those of you that can make a beautiful cake. Hey guys, so I tried to be really artsy and make like a matcha drizzle. I mean, it looks kind of artsy. I don't know. What do you guys think? I made like a matcha like icing. So yeah. Alright, so I added in the cooked rice. We also have some spinach and mushroom sauteed. I added in the beans. I am cooking the beans a bit longer because they need to be a bit softer, but they're still edible. And I'm also going to add in some pumpkin seeds from Thrive Market. Pumpkin seeds are, again, very, very nutritious. I believe they're high in iron, so if you're like concerned with iron, this could be, you know, something that you consume on a regular basis. I'm gonna add that on top. And then we're gonna add about like a tablespoon of this sauce. And we're also gonna add in some green onion. And one of my favorite things in the world, alfalfa sprouts. There we go. Yay! So there is my lunch, guys. I just kind of messed it up a little bit, but here we've got a very healthy whole grain situation. We've got some veggies from the mushroom and spinach. We also have a very healthy protein source, which are the beans, and of course even some healthy fats from the tahini and also the pumpkin seeds, and then the alfalfa sprouts are also really good for you. So this whole bowl is just super healthy, super nutritious, and so delicious. I can't wait to dig in. Alright guys, so it took a while for the beans, but they are pretty much done now. In order to check like if they're done, I just literally eat one. Just bite into one and see if it's like super hard. Anyways, it's pretty much done. I'm going to rinse this with cold water, and then I'm just going to store it for now because I don't really have time to portion them. But normally I would portion maybe like a cup per portion and just freeze some of it and also refrigerate some of it depending on my circumstance at the time. But now I'm just going to put it into one big container and I'll portion it later. so that's pretty much it for what I ate today. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. And I would like to thank Thrive Market once again for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to get 25% off your first order, plus try out Thrive Market for free, link is down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!